Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time. You say something and people go, oh wow, he said something there, you know? So that was one of those moments, you know. Most of the time I just get ignored.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer. It's Thursday. Yeah. George, how are you doing, my friend?
Good. Very tired, but I'm good.
Yeah.
How are you? You're in a new place. Well, not a new place. You're in your house.
I'm in my
house. I assume this is where you're going to do it for now, forever, the podcast.
Potentially,
recordings.
yes. I'm in the spare bedroom. As you can see behind me, my drums are stacked up. I sent you a picture. Because I've been moving out that studio, boy.
Yeah, big time.
Won't dwell on it too long because it's quite boring. But for the last sort of 8 days, just been absolutely slamming a shift in. With the help of my partner, we've done so much, mate. It's amazing what you can do in a week when you don't have to do other shit. So basically moved everything out we wanted to keep that's going to go in the new studio. We've sorted stuff out, so we built a temporary office in this room so I can do work and these podcasts. Also turned it into a sort of a lovely drum storage room, put them on display.
It's very nice.
Stack them all up. It's like my own little Graham Russell in here.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
you could start your own little Graham Russell.
I could, but
and
I'll let him do his thing.
For a laugh.
You know?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
I had a lot of like rubbish disposal. Just been smashing plasterboard and chopping wood. Oh, I'm such a man.
I was going to say, I'm jealous. I'm putting in a shift in with you in a few weeks. I'm looking forward to it. Is there going to be?
I need your
left?
Strong CrossFit body.
Well, is there going to be anything left to smash, or what am I doing?
There will be smashing. But I've got some very heavy glass doors that need to come home.
Okay, cool.
So I need your guns.
Oh, so I'm going to yours.
Yeah.
Should we play some darts? Play some darts.
Yes,
if there's time.
Shall. Yeah, big time.
There's always time, yeah.
Darts first, then the doors. See if we've got time.
Yeah, so get to 4 p.m.
I thought you were bringing
really
the glass doors home. Yeah, Shanghai, mate.
George is nearly on a 180, and he hasn't done that since Valentine's Day 2020, so, you know.
That's been very busy. And quite adjustment, because I'm no longer working evenings, which is nice.
No, exactly. Which
is good. Still been doing gigs, but I know you've got a lot to talk about, George, so why don't we crack on?
I do, yeah. Well, I'm going to start with I did a recording session a few weeks ago for Aura Davis, who I played with before. She called me up. She said, right,
on the telephone?
No, let me pause it there. I said that line deliberately because there's something about the phrase when people go, yeah, man, so I got the call to say I was on the gig, and it annoys me, I think, because it's a text. How often it's probably a text or an email,
or an email.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, to say, hey, man, you fancy doing this gig? But it's a phrase that annoys me so much, I might just start using it to lean into it, you know? So I got the call to say, like, hey, do you want to do some recording? I'm doing a new EP. It's basically done, but we did the drums digitally. And I want them live, baby. And I said, yeah, be well up for that. So she said, okay, go up to London, work with my producer, James, at his studio, JBJ Studios. Give him a quick shout out. Let me make it sure I've got it right. JBJ Recording Studio on Instagram, if you want to check it. Top guy, top studio. And I've got to tell you about it because it was a great day because we spent hours, and I mean hours, working on different sounds and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't think I'd ever really indulged that much in like, right, let's get the right snare tone, you know? He was like, can you, I don't know, we just tried everything. Bit of moon gel, bit less moon gel, you know, tighten it up, loosen it. Can you change the things? Let's try this. And
the reason that's happening is because neither of you are paying for it.
I was just waiting for a joke. I was like, what's the joke going to be? Yeah.
So you don't mind? I will adjust. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? As in,
if Aura's there, she's going, "Can you hurry this fucking play? Can you hurry this the fuck up?" Just hit the drums.
I think he'd do it even if she was there. From the sounds of it, I think he's very like. So
was he a drummer?
I don't think so,
okay.
But he's been a producer for many years, and but we do that for half an hour on a snare, and then he'd be like, "All right, forget that. Let's try a different snare." I'd be like, "Cool, okay." So then we try a different one, and it was great because it was really sort of like just a fun thing to do, just a very self-indulgent. I remember watching this documentary where they had Bruce Springsteen, and he was talking about how he spent ages trying to get the right drum sound because he could, because there was the time to do it. But then even when it got to recording, we were trying different things out, and I really liked it because it felt like there were times where he could have gone, close enough, we'll automate that, don't you worry. But he was like, no, you keep going. Like, he was like, that can be tighter, let's keep it going. And there was this one bit where there was this fill I did. He was like, right, I just need a fill to come into the song. Just do like a like, or something like that, And I went, okay. And I did it, and he was like, yep, that was it. That was the one. Right, let's record it. And then we started recording, and I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't do it again for whatever reason. And then he was like, just work on it a little bit, work on it. I was like, oh, there it is. Okay, got it. And he's like, right, let's record it. And it just went again. And I was like, what is going on, And but what was great is I was thinking, I really want to get this, no matter how long it takes. And I heard him just go, right, we are not leaving until you do it right. And I was like, cool, let's strap in. But it was
4
just
days
very good.
later.
It was one of those, yeah, literally. It was one of those sessions where it's just like, I don't know. He sort of really pushed me to be like, right, come on, we're not just doing the easy way. We're not just putting this to the grid. We are going to have this as live as possible. And it was like, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't we do that? Rather than just going, we can just sample a good snare sound. Like, let's try and find it here, and then do whatever later on. So yeah, it was a very good day, and it was.
So what gear did you end up using? Did you take any gear with you?
Yes, I used my Tama Star Classic, which he was a big fan of. Kick sounded great, tom sounded great, and then snare wise, I can't remember what we used, but he'd borrowed a few snares from his mate. We got my one out, my steel one. What's it called? The one that we both got? Sensitone. Used that, but just tried a lot of different stuff. It was just fun. It was just fun to experiment. That was almost more fun than actually doing the tracking. Oh my God. And we did the kick and snare bit first, and then the cymbals on top. Never done that before.
Okay. For the whole thing?
That was cool. Yeah, I'd say like there was 4 songs we recorded. The last one was definitely just all drums, like as in all in one go. I think maybe second and third, maybe even the first 3. I can't remember. But it was great. I'd never done that before, and he was just...
So, for those people who don't know, it's a technique that's used in recording. I think Royal Blood have done it this way. There's
Queens
quite
of
a
the
few
Stone
big
Age
records
were sort of the
done.
first people to do it.
Yeah, where you track the shells, the kick, snare and toms separately to the cymbals.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Fight Star did it, but I think that's
Probably.
because the drummer broke his wrist.
Ah.
And I think... So Charlie did the drums and the drummer did the cymbals.
Right. Fair.
I think because he could just do that with his right hand. Something like that. But, okay, so I've seen it done before where you put electric cymbals in place.
Yeah.
Or people have done it with pillows or pads. So what did you do to do that?
Yeah. Couldn't have asked it better myself. So the shells, when I was just doing shells, I just sort of air drum the cymbals.
Okay.
Say like if I was on a hi-hat beat, I just sort of tap on my leg.
Did you take away the hi-hat stand? Did you?
No, you keep it
have
there.
it
I
there
have got videos of it. I've been trying to make a video together but it's really hard to do. I don't know if you know how to do it, like a double screen thing on a video. Like you can't do it on iMovie. I asked James Gillingham for like software tips so you can get 2, because I really want to have a video.
You can on iMovie. It's called Picture in Picture.
Okay.
So you can overlay a video on top of the other video, and then you select one to be picture in picture, and then you can have it also in the screen as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you can like resize both of them, but you can have one smaller in the corner overlay over the big one. Yeah,
that makes sense. But then when I was doing the cymbals, I just put pillows down on the snare, or like a big pillow. So at least that did feel like you're playing the drums.
What
but
colour
it
was
is
the pillow?
weird. Sorry?
What colour was the pillow?
Good question. It was quite a shitty old pillow, to be honest. Probably one of those pillows that when you're hitting it, a lot of, arse dust probably came up, which is
poo
good.
Particles. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But all in all, quite a good day, But yeah, you probably are right in a respect of she wasn't there, so it's just become one big lad's day out,
Yeah.
Hey, you should try some
on her dollar
sounds.
or euro, should I say?
Yeah, is it?
On her Swiss franc.
Well, I weren't paid by the hour; it was up front, so jokes on us, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was that. Right, I got some other stuff to talk about. I had an idea for an app the other day. Do you want to hear about that?
Yeah.
So we turn up to this wedding on Friday. Me and Tim Love, old lover boy, and
lover boy.
Oh, and Swanee as well. Me and Swanee went up, Brighton Swanee, we get there, and get there at 5 p.m. because they say get there for 5 p.m. And it turned out we couldn't do anything till 7 p.m. Obviously, classic wedding, blah blah blah, happens every time. And I said, wouldn't it be good? I said this as a joke, but they both liked the idea. Maybe because we were bored. I was like, wouldn't it be good if there was an app? And the wedding registrar has like a list of things. So it's like food, speeches, dessert, moving the room around. And she gets to press them or he, but it's usually a woman, gets to press them as it's happening in the day. So if you're the band, you can't do anything until, they've turned the room around. And you can watch this app. Say the wedding's like an hour away, and you're like, well, they haven't even gone into the, the reception room yet, so there's no point in leaving yet. And then you can see like the time. It's like, okay, well, they're having dessert, so that means it'll be an hour until they're out of the room. Cool, we'll leave now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Think how much wasted time there is turning up to wedding gigs, Turn up.
Johnny's finished his last piece of cake. Time to leave.
Yeah, and then it goes on the app. Bling, The room will be clear now in 45 minutes. Like, 45 minutes. Okay, cool. Let's leave,
Yeah.
Rather than get there at 5. Yeah, go on. I mean, there's a lot of problems.
Wouldn't be the registrar who did it, because they just do the ceremony and then fuck off. So you think you mean the wedding planner?
Yeah. I knew you'd have to get some little dig in. Go on. Even your little face.
Well, if you're going to design an app, mate, you know what I mean? You've got to think about these things.
Well, this isn't the finished product, but go on. Carry on.
You've just drawn a box on a piece of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
we'll just psych up. So someone used to work for me at the blacksmiths, and
he's actually saying it.
Yeah, I won't name them, but they wanted to design a plug-in. They couldn't record for shit, but they wanted to design a plug-in, and the fruits of their labour was just a square on a piece of paper with a couple of circles on it. That's your plug-in, is it? Yeah. When's that ready for distribution? I can buy that online, can I? Great.
Yeah, I remember those days. Any other thing with the app?
No, I was just wondering whether instead of an app, you just have a live video feed. Would probably be
that could work. That could work. You could just just see the room.
Yeah, you can just see the room.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Although I'm not poo-pooing the idea, because I know what you mean. It is frustrating when you arrive at 5 and can't do anything till 7. One thing I've done to counteract that is I've now changed our standard time to 6 p.m.
That makes sense.
So we'll get there at 6 at the earliest. The other thing I think is just better communication between the agency and the venue and the couple. Really, question needs to be asked at the point of booking: is the space free for the band?
Yeah.
If not, we'll turn up after the meal.
Yeah. Even just give you that peace of mind to take the edge off. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking about it, and Swanee and I are driving up, and we're looking at Google Maps, and it's going, 5:05 arrival. You're going, fucking hell. And there's always a bit of you goes, fucking hell, you're going to be 5 minutes late. What if everything's running so well that you turn up at 5 minutes late, and they go, oh my God, why are you so late? It's never, ever, 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 ever going to happen. But what if it does? And you turn up.
We skipped dessert so you could set up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're all standing there. Yeah.
Look at that fat kid crying because he didn't get his ice cream.
Exactly.
Go and apologise to him. Go and apologise to fat little Timmy.
Yeah. It's always Timmy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is always Timmy. Yeah.
So, that was Friday, right? Saturday.
Okay, well, let's talk app names. You can't just drop...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Did you come up with any names for it?
No. It didn't go that far. It was just an off-the-cuff thing, but they both got quite excited. I mean, the way I live, right, I just kind of say a lot of shit, And then sometimes someone will really go
yes, we have 186 episodes.
Yeah, and every now and then you say something and people go, oh, wow, he said something there, So that was one of those moments, Most of the time I just get ignored, but they like the app idea. So names, I don't know, we haven't really got time because I want to bash through some other stuff. Readers, listeners, send in some names,
We will publish this in book form. Don't worry, there will be readers.
I think it's worth it.
And in Braille.
Because I've got to tell you about Saturday.
That's what an irony to go all the effort, publish a book version of the podcast, and then publish it in Braille, where the blind people could just listen to the podcast.
Exactly. But they might not like our voices, Maybe they don't like our voices.
True. Get AI to change our voices to someone else. Who would be our virtual voices? Who would you want?
What?
Statham.
As in someone that's similar to me or someone that...
I don't know. Who would you want representing you with their voice?
Keith Richards, I reckon.
Keith
Shane
Chegwin.
Does he act?
But that's the thing. My sister's not dead.
Shane McGowan, maybe. That'd be funny. Alex Higgins in his final days. Just some, ropey sounding ex sort of rock star kind of person,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I can't really hear what he's saying. It's very gravelly,
But I like the app. Yeah.
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 Who would you have?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Chris Hemsworth doing his Thor voice, that sort of thing. Christopher Walken, obviously, unique voice.
Very unique. No one has the same voice.
Or someone with a prominent lisp for a laugh.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you got?
On specific words. So the next night, Tim and I had another gig. It's basically a weekend with Tim Love.
Truly is your lover boy.
And I got, so this is probably the point at which I give a shout out to my new friend Bob. I'm going to, So him and I had a conversation about, because he was talking about how we were pronouncing or mispronouncing Moella.
Who's Bob? Remind me who Bob
Moella.
is.
Good question, because I haven't really talked about Bob. Bob is a listener of the show.
Hello, Bob.
Bob Win or Win A, something like that. He'll hate that because I'm deliberately getting it wrong. Wine, Bob Wine, is it that? So he reached out after I talked about doing drum lessons. He gave me a lot of good advice, and it was really cool. And then he popped up. He said, "Hey, you free 7th of June?" I said, "Might be." What you got?
Might be, Bob. Busy boy.
Yeah, and he put me on this Rocky Okie gig in London. I said, "Yeah, that sounds good." And then leading up to it, I said, "What's going on with that gig, Bob? Bob Wine, Bob Win." And
if only there was an app, I could check the progress of the gig.
Exactly. And he said, he's like, "Can I call you?" And basically, he was like, "Can I move you on to a different gig? I've double booked myself," or something like that. The gig's up north. The one I was doing, it's with Tim Love. And I said, "Oh, good. I know him, So he put me on this gig. And
you put me on the one that's 6 hours away, Bob.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. In Windermere.
Oh, near the old lake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is it Larkay?
We were looking over the old lake from the venue. Very, very great view. But very long day.
A very great view. Pop that on TripAdvisor.
Very great view. Have you ever seen when people complain on TripAdvisor about places that are just natural places, you know? Like, say they went to, like, a beach, which is just, there's no tourist attraction to it. And it'd be like, I liked it, but the sand wasn't as yellow as I want. 3 star. And it's like, why are you complaining over Mother Nature? Anyway, so put me on this gig, and I was like, oh, that is a long way, actually. That is a long way. So I'll tell you about the day. Oh, actually, so just a quick thing about Bob. So we had a chat about Moella, as we talked about it last week with Caleb, and he was like, it absolutely is Mola. No one calls it Moella. So I was like, there we go.
I think we're all thinking of Zoella, the YouTuber.
Yeah.
That's where we've
just
all
at all
got
times.
there.
Everyone's always thinking of Zoella, you know?
Yeah.
So we had this gig, and I messaged him. I said, hey, man, guess who's playing with you again tomorrow? And it wasn't that last minute. But we drove up. So I drove up to Tim's. Right, so I just need to run you down for how mad this weekend was. And I hope my mum's not listening because she'll worry. So Friday, did the gig in Petersfield, got back whatever time, I don't know, 1.
Yeah.
Who knows? Didn't really get to sleep till 2. Woke up at 8 a.m. Was on the road by 9. Drove up to London to Tim Love, old Lover Boys. Got there about 10:30, and then we were off, boy. We were off all the way up to Windermere. We get there at 5. Do the gig. Gig was actually great. Tim Love said it was one of his favourite gigs ever. I was like, that's cool. And weird one, we played Losing My Religion as a sort of request, and it went down really well. And we went, oh, didn't expect that. Like almost to the point where he was like, I might keep that in. So a little tip, if people listening, if you ever want to throw in a song that you haven't done before that's fairly easy, Losing My Religion, R.E.M. I've got to tell you about someone on the dance floor who, for some reason, I don't know why this is the funniest thing, but it was. There was a man with a harmonica. He just bought in a harmonica.
Of course
like,
he did.
Why
well, it's
not?
standard, isn't it? You go to a wedding, shirt, suit, tie, shoes, you know, maybe a hip flask, card for the happy couple. Yeah. Pop the harmonica in the pocket, you're ready to go. Let's go have a sing.
So while we're playing, he's playing along on the harmonica, but like not in tune.
Yeah, because they're fixed keys. They're in fixed keys, harmonicas. So he's got a 1 in 12 shot.
Just blowing into it. But like in time with the vocals. So say if we're doing, let's say for example, Losing My Religion, and Losing My Religion, he just like that on this harmonica. And it got funnier throughout the night. I don't know why. It should have been annoying, but it wasn't. So when we were doing the DJ part of the set, you know, Tim puts on a Taylor Swift song and the Romeo and Juliet one. What's that? Love Story. And he's just playing along the harmonica, and the pride's like, can you stop doing that? It's like, you know, Romeo, take me. He's like, like that. And it was
how old
like,
is this
kind
guy?
of, how old?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to know better. Mid-30s, I don't know, something like that.
Oh, I was expecting 60s.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. Either way, he was a man who brought in a harmonica, and and you wouldn't believe how much a harmonica.
And that's the thing. The thing is, like, I can get, you know, I get it. Some people, when they have a few drinks and they can get a bit silly, and some people cross the line. But he's brought that with him. Do you know what I mean? He's thought about this. He's got ready with his partner. Yeah. You know, although probably not. Probably doesn't have a partner.
No, he didn't look like he had a partner.
No. Or maybe that's his thing. He's like, that's his peacocking thing.
This is way to pull. Like, I mean, it works.
This and his mates. Oh, you going to your wedding on Saturday? Yeah. You look forward to it. Yeah. Paul, we've chatted to you before, but don't take the harmonica. Honestly, no, it'll get the lady. Paul, it really made that funeral awkward.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he's going, I won't. This time I won't. Pulls it out. Or someone starts hearing it. Oh no.
He puts one down, and then there's another mate in the room, and he winks, opens his jacket. There's another one. I got yeah.
How many harmonicas have you got? God, yeah. But I don't know. But even Tim never finds anything funny. Even he found it funny. So we'd planned to stay in Birmingham that night, And on the day, Tim went, I'll level, yeah? I haven't booked anywhere yet. And I went, and I was telling him of the night where Dean and I drove back from Leeds. And he went, do you reckon we could do that? And I went, it's a long way, but if we nap well, we can do it. So we had this plan. I do the first 2.5 hours and Tim sleeps. And then he does the next 2.5 hours and I sleep. So I drove for the first 2.5 and we're, buzzing. It's good. And then I was like, right, Tim, you're welcome to sleep now, So he goes to sleep and I'm still good. And then about 2 a.m., I was like, right, you ready? And he was like, yeah, let's go, And he'd had some food. He'd had a big old nap. And then he took over. And then about, 5 a.m., I woke up and we were basically in London. And then, we
just
get back to Tim's.
London, still in London.
I know. And then we get back to Tim's. I think that was the worst bit because he gets back to his and he was like, all right, man, see you later. Been a pleasure. Been a great 48 hours or whatever.
At no point did he go, you can stay here.
I know, this is it. But I felt like
Bye, George.
I was so close.
Why are you walking up the path, George?
Yeah.
Turn around.
Yeah, I got my kids in there. What are you doing? So, anyway, I made the last bit back to Brighton and got in about 7 a.m. And he did say if we ever have a long gig together, he's like, I'm not doing that again. But at the same time, we were safe with it. And it does mean that you don't wake up in Birmingham and then have to go like, right, here's my whole Sunday carrying on. So bloody long weekend, that one. There was something else I was going to say about it. Just thanks to Bob. Thanks to Bob for putting me on that gig. And any more gigs, Bob? Send
Thanks,
them my
Bob,
way.
for the 6-hour drive.
Yeah, if they're a bit closer, that'd be great. But that's what Tim does. He sort of Tim seems to be a very in the know man. I think just from being a muso for 20 years, he just has all these people dotted around the country. Do you know what I mean? He's like, if it's up north, I'll get Bob and Jim. I was playing with a guy called Big Jim.
Yeah.
Who wasn't as
Not to be
big as
confused with Little Jim.
Well, this is it. Yeah. Right.
Or Big Jim 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Last thing I want to talk about is Gabby King and I tried to go to Big Mad Andy's Peep Show quiz last week. It was cancelled. We went all the way to Southampton and turned up at the engine rooms. You ever been to the engine rooms?
Yeah.
I'd never been. It's just in an industrial estate, isn't it? Like first of all, I was like, is this the right place? And we get there, shutters are down. And we checked on the thing. And when we've been driving there, she was like, do you want to check the tickets? And I was like, Gabby, it says you can't access the tickets till October the 5th, 2025. And she was like, well, that must be wrong. The gig's tonight. And I was like, are you sure it's tonight? Are you sure it's not October? Anyway, we get there, find out it had been postponed, and they just didn't tell anyone. So on the Instagram, everyone's complaining like, I've come all the way from the Isle of Wight, Not everyone.
Get Gabby to double check Glastonbury dates.
Yeah,
because
you definitely play with the 1975 this year. Yeah,
because these aren't valid till October 2026. So,
but so then we had to have a night out in Southampton.
So it was Big Mad George.
So this is what I think I did say something like that. I'm gonna drink this paint now, and this is really cheap and horrible paint. So anyway, so then we just went out to Southampton. But that's annoying, isn't it? Could have gone to Big Mad Andy's Peep Show quiz. But it's always October. I think that's about all I had to say. There's a lot of stuff, and I wanted to just get it in.
Yeah.
Pronto, right. Some episodes be like that, Before we move on, though, MRI. Or let's move on to can we talk about that? Because I'm intrigued about your MRI scan.
Yes, I had a MRI scan last
week.
What does that
stand for?
It's a good question, George. It's a good question. Would you like to hazard a guess? Something? Hazard a guess.
Mirror something imaging.
Well, imaging you've got right, but it's actually magnetic resonance imaging.
I wouldn't have got resonance. Not in a million years.
No. It's the one where they put you in a sort of giant magnet, slide you in on a tray.
So It's a
into
full
a little
body
tube.
one, so you're properly underneath.
Yeah,
it.
but your legs are sticking out. Your legs are sticking out.
Right.
But you go in. So this was at Spire Hospital in Southampton. So it was, my appointment was in the morning. Yeah, it was quite interesting actually. Well, I couldn't take my phone anywhere, so I didn't get any pictures. But they put me in green scrubs. I look like Turk from Scrubs. You know what I mean? Bald.
Right.
And I look really cool. I was like, I think I could be a surgeon if I really wanted.
Yeah.
This is, you got
the look
works.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
I'd be that cool surgeon who's listening to metal in the operating theatre.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like rocking out, just slicing and dicing, baby. Anyway, so it was all good. Yeah, so I got changed, put these scrubs on. But before, when I first had my consultation and booked the scan in, I had to fill in this form about, health, loads of health things and things like that.
Yeah.
And when you get like that sort of paranoia at an airport where they're like, did you pack your bag yourself? And you're like, yeah. And then you go, did I? Did someone else?
Yeah.
Do you have any sharp objects? Like, I don't know, there could be a bomb in there.
I think I do.
Did I pack a bomb? I'm not sure. Anymore. You're putting doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Well, they were checking about metal plates in your body. And he was like, oh, have you had any camera pills? Have you swallowed a camera pill recently? And you're like, I mean, I haven't. But you start going, I don't know, maybe I've eaten a camera.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I was young in the 90s.
Thing with the
pills.
With the robot bee popping out his head. And then you go, there could be a robot bee in my head. I'm not sure. I can't. Can I 100% certain say I don't have a robot bee in my head?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can.
No.
Because when I'm asleep 8 hours a night, I don't know what's crawling in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The ear canals are open. Yeah. So you're going, well, I'm going to risk it because I want the scan. But maybe a robot bee will shoot out my... Maybe I am Wolverine and this will be a night. I don't know.
Yeah.
Things could happen.
So much to think about.
There's so much running through your head. And then you get paranoid. Like, have I just put something metal up my arse? Is there just metal in me? But anyway,
great
so you go
into your personal life. Yeah.
And so I had to lie down on this table, and I had pillows and a little bolster for my legs. And then they put foam earplugs in, and headphones, and you could choose what radio station you wanted. So I chose Classic FM because I'm classy.
That's
and
what
also, I
go
don't think Kerrang exists.
Although, did you
anymore.
No, but who was presenting? Was it Alexander Armstrong? Because that would annoy me.
I think it was Alec Jones.
Like his voice.
I had Alec
Oh,
Jones.
okay, that's all right.
Yeah. There's some Haydn cello shit going on.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
All the big ones.
Yeah.
He is generally considered
not as good
the
as his
best.
first album. No. Do you know what I mean? Because that was fresh, raw, spiky. Second one, he'd written that on tour. It's not as good. He's talked about his life.
Yeah, now he's just whinging about being tired on tour. Yeah.
Exactly, and having loads of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disappointing. And so I lay down. And then another thing I was a bit worried about, because you have to stay still. So then you just get worried about, like, can I just stay still? So actually, in bed in the morning, I was practicing just lying still. And then I thought, do you know what? Lying still, I've been training for this my whole life. This is what I'm good at. Yeah. I can do this. I can do it. It's movement where I should be worried.
Yeah.
Staying still, I've got that nailed. So I lie down in this thing, and they're like, they leave the room, and then they're like, right, we're going to pop you in the machine. And I'm a bit worried about claustrophobia as well. I don't like tight enclosed spaces. I had an incident on a year 6 school trip. We had to go in this dark tunnel. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
Get me out. And then another thing, on a brass band trip to Europe, for some reason, everyone thought it would be a good idea to all go down the flume at the same time. And we got stuck. And I nearly had a panic attack. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's
so right. I'm voluntarily going in this MRI, in this tube. And you think, you've seen him on telly, you've seen him in films. These big round machines that they slide you in. And so I was like, I just got to lie still. I've got Alec Jones soothing me with a bit of Haydn's second album.
Yeah.
And then they slide you back. The machine goes back in. And I went in, and the ceiling was like that. It was so tight. And I was like, shut my eyes. I am shutting my eyes.
Yeah.
And I just laid still perfectly. And I really don't know how long I was in there. Must be at least 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. But they also put scrubs on and took my t-shirt off because they were like, oh, you'll feel your body heat up. That's normal. And you can feel like the back warming up. And do you know what? By the end, I was so comfy.
Yeah.
I was just so comfy lying there. My body started moving because I got too relaxed.
Yeah.
You know, my legs, no. And I think I was, another 5 minutes, I could have fallen asleep.
Yeah. That must happen,
And
right?
then, I think so, but there was a woman in there before me, because they rattled through them. And she had her husband in there, I think, holding her hand, because I don't think she liked it.
No.
But I just thought, just shut your eyes and just enjoy lying down, because I haven't been able to do a lot of that this week because of the demolition.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very interesting. So I got a follow-up consultation in a couple of weeks. So see what they found.
Yeah. Nice.
But I walked out, and you're in a hospital, so you don't know what people are going through. You know, there's ups and downs in a hospital, of course. The place where life is born, but also the place where life is taken. So it's the full gamut, the full spectrum. And there was an older couple sat down, and I walked out to see my partner. She said, how was it? And I said, it turns out I'm not Wolverine. And I think, you know, I don't know if that old couple are Marvel fans or not. I don't think the joke landed with them. I was expecting a wry smile, like, good one, because Scan and he's full of metal. You know, like that. But but it was quite an interesting experience.
Yeah, definitely.
What else we got? Should I finish off with something else? We got time?
Yeah.
Or should I save it? Should I save it for the next episode? Intro and outro.
I've no self-control. I need to know what it is now.
Oh, okay. I bought some new cymbals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this. Yeah, fucking hell.
So
bought a lot.
Part of the clip.
Did you buy a lot? Because one of the pictures on the carousel, there was like a lot of cymbals. Is that like your collection?
Okay. Yeah. So part of the clear out, I've been...
no, we've got time.
I've been sorting out all the stuff. It turns out I've had a lot of stuff in the studio. So I've got a few rehearsal kits. They've gone to new homes. One's gone to be a house kit in a pub. One's gone to my friend's daughter who plays drums. I've been dishing out PA speakers, amps, subs. Come get it. Free for all. You know, wanting things to go to a good home. But what I'd accumulated over the years, I just had some odds and sods in the drum bits, old stands, old drums, you know, a few kick drums, blah, blah, blah. And having a bit of a clear out, having a bit of a sort out. So I filled up my car with stuff, took a trip down the old Rat King himself, Graham Russell. So I popped down to Graham Russell Drums, and I saw the boys in there, and I said, got some stuff, and let's bring it in. So I brought it all in. I had like a hard case, snare drum, a couple of kick drums, old pedals, stands, all bits and bobs. And obviously, you know, a sensible man would take the cash, take the money. Yeah. So essentially it's free money, really, in a way. And the amount they gave me, they were offered, was above my expectation. I thought, that's lovely. And so I said to Sam, I said, wow, let's not rush. Let's not be hasty with a bank transfer.
Yeah.
We are in the greatest drum shop on earth.
Yeah.
Let me have a peruse. And I'm a man with certain tastes. In reality, I just said, I might buy a new cymbal, actually. So I was speaking to Sam and Luke, who were going through all the stuff. And I thought, do you know what? He said, what sort of thing you're after? I was like, well, I've got quite a lot already, but you can never have too many. You can never. I said, you got any Z Customs in? You got any Z Customs? Because I had some in the 90s, late 90s, and obviously they stopped making them, but they've done a new version, reissued them. And they were like, I think we've got a Crash upstairs. He said, but we've got a load of new cymbals come in, second-hand ones. We've got AZ Dino Beat hi-hats. Do you want to try them out?
Nice.
Yes, please. So I took them. Just had a peruse upstairs, said hello to Graham, and there she was. I went through the Sabian stuff. They had a Roctagon. I was maybe I'll get a Roctagon.
Yeah.
Why not? Maybe I'll
Sounds
get
cool.
a China.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I saw it, the 20-inch Z Custom Crash. I thought, I don't care what it sounds like. I don't care. I want it. I want the nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's so shiny. It's got the little star, you know, engraving on it. So I set both up on the house kit. Hi-hat sounded great. So I was like, yes, please, one or two, because they come in a pair. And then there's a custom Crash, hit it. Yeah, I want it. I just want it. So went downstairs. These, please. And I thought I'd do a post on social media. Invite the pod and GRuss's collaborators. And it's been racking up the likes, up the views.
What's it on now? I haven't seen.
Just, I don't know, probably about like 500,000 or something by now. But I put it's the first time really in a long time I've had all my drums at home.
Yeah.
But what I've done is at the studio, I've still got my stuff I need for gigs. Just the minimum I need for gigs at the studios, and everything else is home. So I've got my stage costume, my Mapex, my rock tour. But I've got all my other cymbals that I'm not gigging with. I was like, there's quite a lot now. Let's get them out and let's have a look at them all. And I thought I'll just take a nice picture of them all for that social media post. So
look good, yeah.
I've unnecessarily added to the cymbal collection.
Great for the algorithm though, because lots of your face, And I like the one where you're sort of squatting by the fireplace. That was
because my cat is going, what are these? Well, Billy, these are the AZ Dino beats.
Exactly.
That's it. Oh, I met Connor Hopkins in real life.
Oh, cool.
So Connor's been on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, at your studio.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was weeks ago. Yeah.
I know. So it was the last day we were open for rehearsals, and I had my regular band in, and I had a band in. I didn't know who they were. I'd never seen them before, and I thought that's weird. They booked in for the last ever day. Maybe they don't know it's the last ever day.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I'm in the office doing my thing. I see a young man, a handsome young man, walk into reception on the CCTV. I thought, that looks a little bit like Connor Hopkins, huh? And then they obviously wanted a drum kit, but didn't book one online. Come on, guys. No wonder we're closing.
Yeah.
Sick of your shit. So they came round. Hello, Connor.
Yeah.
He was like, what are you doing here? Like, this is my studio. And I thought maybe Connor, he's a fan of the show. He loves us, the bond we made over that episode.
He's heard it's closing.
He's heard it's closing. There's a slot on the last ever day. What a treat to go and meet Ben in real life. Go and use his studio one last time. Give him a lovely send-off. Nah, he had no fucking idea. But it was lovely to meet him. It was lovely to see him in real life and have a little chat.
Well, you're like this. He said to me, actually, you'll hate this. He said, oh, mate, I didn't realise you and Ben own that studio. And I went, I'm going to have to, I said, it's not mine. It's Ben's. You know what I mean? Your 14 years there mean nothing because people just assume that I am a partner. I said it once as a joke.
You and Neil, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you and Neil doing? No, Neil's, I don't care what Neil's doing. It's mine. It's mine.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It is fine. Yeah, because I saw him in reception when I thought it looks like Connor Hopkins, and he definitely went because he saw your teaching.
Yeah. He sent
flyer
that to me.
On the notice board and our drummer business cards on there.
Yeah.
And I think he was like, "Wow, what a coincidence!" Like, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, great. Right, well, we should wrap up because we've got.
We should wrap up.
Connor, we've got his mate, Ollie Thacker, who's going to be the guest next week.
About to do guest next week. Yeah, next week. Next week. Well, George, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Get in touch. Let us know if you bought any new cymbals recently. What have you got? What tickled your fancy?
Yeah. Also, what would your app be called for the wedding thing to save everyone time and stress?
Yes. Or do you have any other app ideas that, no matter how stupid, would benefit
offensive.
or offensive the music/drumming scene? Because we always joked, me and Neil, like you going up to Lake Windermere, and like my bands, we've got Newcastle, Cornwall, go all over the shop. And it's got to be a band locally.
Yeah.
Who are travelling down.
Yeah.
So bandswap.com.
Oh yeah, Bandswap. That's a good one.
Oh, indie 4-piece rock band. We're going up to Manchester, and you're coming down to Port. We'll just swap the gigs. Yeah. Done. Cheers. Let the complaints gush forth. Yeah. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.